Hey, welcome to Rolling with Stone. I'm host Stone, and usually we have the brews and reviews that with the brew and the review of the Sierra Nevada celebration. I'm still enjoying that. I was just doing a comparison on the VForce read block to the standard read block from the KTM Husqvarna. Now, I forgot to show you the main. So, anyways, showed you how they're in my previous video. Very, very, very similar. And that, so the main difference between these two is the fact that VForce has the little tensioner reed stopper deal on them. And also the other thing is they pay a lot of attention to making sure their reed seals where the standard one doesn't. Now, I'm hoping that maybe I can show you now can you see if I turn this, see, you can see the light. You can see the light through the reeds there, right? Now that is light, so those reeds are not positively sealing against the reed cage. Here is the VForce. And you can see that that is positively sealed against the reed cage. So that is a significant difference, as well as the reed stopper, reed tensioner deal with these two different reeds. Very similar in construction, but very the care in making them is a little bit different. So, but the other thing, so let's just push up against these and see if we can make them seal positively. And let me push up against these. It's still not sealing great. You know, maybe there's some deformity in the reed cage itself. Maybe KTM made a bad reed cage. Can't imagine that they would. Why would they want to make a bad reed cage? Anyway, yeah, so these things definitely do not seal fully, and I don't think it's fault. It's actually the cage. The cage doesn't look like it seals. So I'm pushing up against, I'm pushing. Now this should make the reed seal. Or is we just getting light in from the other reed, the other side? There we go. I mean, you push up against it, maybe makes it seal a little bit better, but still not sealing great. Maybe this reed cage is a little bit deformed. Anyway, so that's an interesting aspect to this cage. That is the standard one from Husqvarna KTM. It's essentially a copy of the old VForce 3, and that which KTM used to use in their bike standard, and then they made their own. So, but they didn't copy it correctly because it doesn't seal positively against the thing. It doesn't. And the thing I was going to say, if it didn't seal positively, but you could push up against it and then seal it, and that would be acceptable. And but yeah, this thing does not seal positively even when you're pushing against it. So there is definitely a gap at the end. That is a big fault with this cage, and that's so we may pull this cage apart and see if we can fix that, and maybe come up with a fix for people with the standard cage. And then there's no need to go to this. Then if you could fix this cage and get positively, if you could push against the reed and positively seal it against the edge of the thing, then that would be one thing. Because when you have your intake, well, so intake is suction, so it's sucking the fuel out of the fuel bowl up through the needle, through the main jet, through the needle orifice, and into here, sucking it, right? And then when you go to the compression mode, there's a back wave of pressure that would push and seal up against these reeds, and push these reeds, positively sealing them against the cage. Now, so if you have reeds and they hang open a little bit and that, it doesn't matter. So long as when you push up the pressure on them a little bit, they will actually positively seal against the cage. This one, even though I'm pushing against the cage, it doesn't positively seal. So this cage, the standard KTM Husqvarna cage, has a couple of issues with it. It looks very similar. It looks like it was almost made from the old style, but they have a couple of issues. They made this thing as being trying to get away from the pattern, I'm sure, the little wing deal, but it does have some issues, and then we may dig a little deeper and try and find out how to resolve those issues so you could fix your standard cage. Anyway, we're definitely going to try this cage in our bike, our 2017 Husqvarna TC250, and give it a go and see if it's any better. I'm sure it'll be a little bit better because it's going to positively seal against the reeds. So you're not going to get that back pressure leaking past the reeds and going into the Anyway, hey, that's Rolling Stone. I'm being your host, John Stone. We're in the Stone Cave. Look forward to other videos. Subscribe. Give us a thumbs up, a thumbs down, whatever you think. And that, whether you're watching a rerun or whatever they call it when it's not live, because I'm doing this thing live, and that not live in front of a studio audience because there's no one clapping, and you can't have a studio audience anymore because of coronavirus. But anyway, so give us a thumbs up, a thumbs down, leave a comment, say, hey, you look like a complete fool, or that looks like it could be possibilities. Anyway, look forward to seeing you next time, and cheers.